And I always get people asking me, why don't you find somebody? Why don't you find somebody? Well, we're going to answer those questions. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't want anybody anymore. I'm happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. My life is more successful now than it's ever been. Life used to be simple. We were told, go to school, get a job, and find somebody to get married and live happily ever after, right? Well, in today's society, that doesn't work. So if you're over 40, if you're over 50, and you find yourself alone, well, you're not alone, because a lot of people are doing it. Excuse the traffic. The sun is coming up. The birds are chirping. I'm sure somebody's going to complain about the birds chirping. That's where I live, okay? So I am 59 years old. I have been living here alone with my dogs. Actually been alone for 13 years. I've been here 11 years. And I always get people asking me, why don't you find somebody? Why don't you find somebody? Well, we're going to answer those questions. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't want anybody anymore. You ready? All right. Well, I, like a lot of people, went through many relationships. I was married twice, divorced twice. A lot of that was me. I was selfish. Okay. I drank. I worked night shifts. That will kill a relationship quicker than anything, working nights. Especially if they're working days, your spouse is working days. That does not work. So you have to really find somebody that's really compatible, which is very hard to do. It can be done, but it's hard to do. I guess I didn't. And then my 40s hit. And I don't know what happened in my 40s, but it was like my wild years. Okay, chasing women and partying, going to the nightclubs. That lasted probably till I was 46. And then I grew tired of that and started staying home. And I'd date women and, and on and off till I was probably 4. That ended when I moved here. I'm going to tell you why. The pickings are slim here. Let me tell you, they're very slim. The attractive women are almost non-existent here. I know, I'm going to piss off some women. It's all right, I'm going to be brutally honest. There is just not an abundance of attractive women here. Do they have to be attractive? Not necessarily. But there's nothing here. And I've been here, I have not dated one single person from this area in the entire time I've lived here. Not because I couldn't. It's because everybody is attracted to a certain type of person. Well, that person ain't here. Okay? And I don't go out looking. And I have adjusted very well to living single. And we're going to go over the cons, pros and cons of this. And let me tell you, the cons are very few, very few that I've found out. I don't know how to say this and without hurting some feelings, and I guess there's no way to say it without hurting feelings, but the problem today is women and men, and I was one of them, are just too overweight. I don't find overweight people attractive. I was not attractive. I still ain't, but hey, anybody that's overweight, it is not an attractive feature, okay? You do not want to wake up in the morning and roll over and grab your spouse and have to open your arms this wide. That's just one thing, okay? And it seems, I guess it depends where you live. I mean, there's two kinds. There's several kinds of women, several kinds of men. I'm also not attracted to the type of woman that always has to be in the beauty parlor, getting their nails done, constantly messing with their hair. It's fake. It's fake to me. Yes, they might look good, but is that what they really look like when all the makeup's off and the hair is down? No, no. You're putting on a mask is what you're doing. And that never used to be so much of a issue in the 40s and 50s. Yeah, in the 50s, women, they all wore dresses. And women get mad about that. Oh, I ain't wearing no dress. But they look nice, But I think a lot of it is, I grew up in a different time when people weren't overweight and the abundance of people that were not overweight were out there. Now there's not. And I think these younger generations have grown up with that, because you'll see skinny guys with big women and it doesn't seem to bother them. Maybe it's me, okay? But you will never convince me a man or woman that is overweight is attractive. It's just not. And this isn't one of my carnivore videos. This is me telling you why being alone is the best choice for me, and it may be for you. If I'm not looking for a beauty queen. I'm not looking for anybody. But when I wasn't really looking for that. I'm looking for somebody who was real, who didn't have to get up every day and slap on $500 worth of makeup just to look good. If you use natural products, you could probably look better with natural skin than you ever would with makeup. But women are plastering this stuff all over their face, and that cannot be good for the skin. Cannot be. Do you think, look what they're putting in our food. What do you think they're putting in that makeup that you're putting on your face? What are you going to look like when you're 60, when you're 70, I've noticed, one of the issues I have, and I don't care, I'm not ashamed to say it. I mean, I have problems with my teeth in the last 5 years. I've had a middle tooth fall out. What happened was I had a broken jaw and I left the wires in my gums too long, and it gave me a lot of bone loss. So I need new teeth. I'm aware of that. I don't need somebody commenting. That's just one thing. But if you don't feel good about yourself, and like I said, when I was overweight, not the time to go hunting for women. And just because I was overweight, well, that doesn't mean that I became attractive to overweight women. I didn't. My taste in women did not change because I gained weight. And so that's a reason I did not seek anybody. And even though I've lost all that weight now, I have no interest in living with somebody. There are just so many downsides to that, okay? Maybe I'm selfish, but there's so many downsides to that. Financial. Just, I don't like answering to anybody. Call me selfish. Some people are just not meant to stay married or be with somebody. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. That's just the way it is. Gotta take a sip of coffee here. But that doesn't mean you have to be unhappy. Now, what I've done, I got a bunch of dogs. Okay, I'm down to 4 now, just 4. But at one time, I had about 9 dogs here. They kept me busy, they kept me company, and they don't complain. They might give you a little sass every now and then, but they don't complain if you do this, if you do that. I can wake up each morning and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get the tools out and I'm going to build this. And nobody gives me any guff. Not the dogs, not the birds that you hear, nobody. I just never learned how to be compatible, I guess, with someone else. I've had few good relationships, few. But for the majority of the time, I wasn't happy. And I was never made up to be that way. Some people are, some people ain't. Now, some people lose their spouse, whether it be that they pass on, you know, a whole plethora of reasons. And they have a hard time adjusting. And here's a trend I notice. I see this on Facebook all the time. Somebody will get out of a relationship, and by God, it ain't a month later, guess what? They found someone else. And then they get married. And guess what? A year or two later, they start all over again. There are just some people that just cannot be without somebody. And their life goes nowhere. You know, they're miserable, I think. They're constantly looking, and I see this so much on Facebook. Never noticed it before the internet, you know, but you got those friends. If soon as they lose a boyfriend or a girlfriend, guess they're out doing it and they're finding another one. They fall in love real quick, and sometimes that is false. You know, they think they're in love, but they don't give it time to find out what that person's really like, or to know that person's background. That's a big thing. You get with somebody and then you find all these things out about this person and things you wish you would have known before you started. I just don't want to go through that anymore. I just don't. It's not worth it to me. I am extremely happy. I do not get lonely. I will never, believe me, I will never ever get in a relationship again. I just won't. It's not, you know, at least that's what I'm thinking right now. Who knows where your life leads? But I'm just not looking for that. And I'm happier alone. I don't get lonely at all. It doesn't bother me. Now, when I am down to 0 dogs, I might start feeling a little lonely. But you know what I'm going to do? Go get another dog. Yep. It's just me. But I am serious when I say that people might think things they do make them attractive, where it's the complete opposite. Let's use this for an example. Today, these young girls, I have never seen one in person. Out where I live, they don't do this. They're getting these new fake eyelashes that come out to here. They look like aliens. That looks ridiculous, okay? What man would like that? And I've seen some videos about men talking about that. No man that I've heard likes that. I think women do things for other women, is what I think. The makeup thing, the hair. One goes out and gets a hairdo, guess what? The next one's got to go out and get that same hairdo. I want somebody that's real, ain't afraid to get dirty. I don't know. That person just ain't around here. If it is, I mean, I'm not looking, but it ain't. Now, some of the cons of being alone, you know, I'm cutting some wood. I might need somebody to hold the other end of the board sometimes. Or I'm trying to lift something or move something. There's a con. That's a tough one, ain't it? Sometimes I don't want to feed the chickens. Be nice to have somebody else say, hey, go feed the chickens. No, don't have that person. I got to do it. That's it, man. I mean, I don't see any other I don't see any other cons. Man, it's just, I guess it's you get used to being alone. If you're alone long enough, you just get so used to it. You know, it just becomes a normal part of life is being alone. I could almost be in the woods somewhere, 1,000 miles from the nearest human, and it wouldn't bother me a bit. Would not bother me a bit. As long as there was a Walmart, you know, around the corner or something. Got to eat. So I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you know, everybody's had bad relationships. Everybody's had them. And if you haven't, you know, you're lucky. Now, you know, decades ago, people would get married and they'd stay married till the day they died. My parents are still together. They've been married over 60 years. That doesn't happen anymore. People are too independent. Social media really has destroyed a lot of relationships, a lot of cheating. I don't want to deal with that. Okay, am I wrong for not wanting to deal with all that? I never was a jealous person, but yes, that has happened to me. That is not fun to have to find out, but that's life, man. And I was not an angel myself, I will tell you that. I was never an angel myself. And that's another reason I stay out of it, you know. It's just too much to deal with. I am very happy being alone. Nobody should feel sorry for me. I'm happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. My life is more successful now than it's ever been. I just prioritize other things other than a relationship. Now, not saying relationships are bad at all. They're good. If you find one that's good, man, more power to you. Stay in it. Everybody should be able to find somebody that is true to them, somebody that they can trust, rely on, depend on. That's just not the case anymore. And I think as time goes on, it's only going to get worse. You know, some of the things you see are just terrible that people go through over relationships, the violence, you name it. I don't want to have to deal with any of that. And yep, I'm never going to be a marriage counselor. Don't come asking me for advice, because I'm going to tell you, live alone. You know, there's just so many guys my age and women my age that are alone, and they have reasons, but they won't tell nobody. So I'm here telling you my reasons. Mainly, I'm just happier. You know, it has nothing to do with looks or being overweight or any of that. I am just happy being alone. That's it. Yeah, it's getting tougher to find somebody, you know. And then let this truck pass. When we age, okay, come on, trucks. When we age, here's another issue, especially if you're into attractive people and all that. When we age, man, we're not as attractive as we used to be. Skin doesn't look as good. You get wrinkles. You know, we just don't look. You got to be able to see past that. Even if somebody's a little overweight, you got to be able to see past that. And it's not something I'm willing to do. I still have a 20-year-old mind, I guess. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? Am I bad? I mean, are these guys, do you mind an overweight woman, an ugly woman, a woman that plasters makeup on? I don't know. Nobody wants anybody that doesn't take care of themselves. Now, if you're a little overweight, you don't plaster the makeup and stuff on, don't have to be in the beauty parlor, you know, that's fine. I'm sure there are plenty of men out there, plenty of women out there that you can find. But you either make the decision at a certain point in life, hey, I don't want to deal with this anymore and live alone and focus on just your life, or you seek that one person that may or may not be out there, because it's a tough search, let me tell you. There's going to be people get on. I'm going to have probably the worst comments ever on this video, but I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I'm happy. I'm happy the way it is, and I will probably be alone. They'll probably find me. Been dead 2 weeks in this house, and then that's when they'll find me, because ain't nobody comes around. I got to edit that part out. All right. Well, that was my opinion, and respect it. Don't have to agree with me, but that is one reason a lot of people, those are some of the reasons a lot of people stay single, because they just get tired of it. You know, they get tired of the constant search, the constant bickering, the constant financial crisis. It's not fun. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy trails.